with $269 a month for 39 months. Take a test drive at 63.
Coming up, El Paso City leaders met today to determine what the next steps are on a proposed residential gas rate increase that could affect your wallet. Diana Castillo will be breaking that down in just a few minutes. Then President Donald Trump is moving military assets to the Caribbean Sea as tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela rise. We're going to break down what's going on with the conflict in that region. And it looks like a Pacific storm system is making its way into our area. Does that really mean rain chances, Robert?
Oh, Monica, not just one day, but 2 days of rain chances, even a chance of thunderstorms. I'm going to have your detailed forecast. We're live on KTSM 9+, and your news starts right now.
This is KTSM 9 News, breaking news.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, your digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We begin with breaking news. A $10 to $14 increase. That's what officials with Texas Gas asked City Council to add to your monthly bill. Today, City Council members voiced their concerns about the financial impact on families, pushing back on that ask and ultimately denying the request. Our KTSM 9 News reporter Diana Castillo, she is live from City Hall where she attended today's work session. And Diana, it looks like El Pasoans and their leaders definitely had their voices heard today.
That's right, Monica. Now, according to Texas Gas Service, officials want to take all of their different service zones and combine across the state and merge them into one big zone. Now, that's something that some officials and residents don't agree with. Now, right now, people in different regions pay different rates, but under this plan, everyone would fall under the same rate structure. Now, here in El Paso, that means a small home could see nearly a $10 increase each month, and larger homes could see closer to $14. Now, the company says combining those zones would help them spread costs and improve reliability across the system.
Inflation's impacted us too, and our costs have gone up too, and we have to provide safe and reliable service. We're obligated under the law to provide safe and reliable service. So eventually we have to come in and ask for an increase.
But city officials push back, saying consolidating these areas would leave El Pasoans paying more than they should.
El Paso, and I'm summarizing here, gets a 27% increase over other parts of the state that are getting a 10% reduction. And trying to still wrap my head around the average cost for a small home when I don't really know what that means. $981 for a small home, $1,322 for a large one. That still translates to about $117 and $160 per year, which is sizable for this community.
Now, this discussion also brought many community members out here to City Hall today. Now, coming up at 5, we'll show you what a lot of residents say, many expressing concern about the rising cost of living and this proposed rate hike. But that's all coming up at 5. For now, from City Hall, Diana Castillo, KTSM 9 News.
Diana, thank you so much for that report. And while the city of El Paso has formally opposed this rate hike, the final decision will be made by the Texas Railroad Commission sometime in January. Well, turning to developing news now, a 40-year-old man was arrested last Friday after trying to take an officer's weapon. According to the Horizon City Police Department, Joshua Cordova was seen walking on Horizon and Ashford Street. When officers approached him, they say he smelled of alcohol. Cordova was then placed under arrest for public intoxication, and during the arrest, Cordova resisted and then he tried to run away. Police also say Cordova tried to remove the officer's firearm from its holster. That's when the officer deployed his taser. Cordova was then booked into the El Paso County Detention Facility for public intoxication, resisting arrest, and attempting to take a weapon from an officer. And caught on camera, El Paso police say a man held up a convenience store at gunpoint, and now they're asking for your help in finding him. Take a look at your screen right now. According to police, on November 3rd, around 11 p.m., a man walked into the DK store on North Loop and Nottingham. This is near Loop 375. Now, the man went straight to the clerk, placed what is believed to be a gun on the counter, and then demanded money. He ran from the store with a small undisclosed amount of cash, and the suspect was then wearing all dark clothing, including a black face mask. Witnesses also noticed that the man was wearing latex gloves. Anyone with information on this robbery is asked to call Crime Stoppers of El Paso to the number you see right there on your screen. And over to Las Cruces, one person is dead and 3 others are injured after a shooting at a house party. And Las Cruces police are also asking for the community's help. Now, this happened around 11:45 Saturday night on the 2400 block of Bugatti Drive. Now, police received multiple calls about shots being fired. When officers arrived, they actually found 21-year-old Lance Chavez had been shot at least once. He was then pronounced dead at the scene. 3 other victims were also shot and taken to a local hospital. Investigators believe the incident was recorded by people at that gathering, and they are asking anyone with video of that night or any information to submit it online. We've actually put up a link to that on our website. That's KTSM.com. All right, let's pause for just a little bit and talk about weather, because you know what? There is a lot headed our direction. This is what it looks like right now. Just a few clouds here and there, but the real story is a Pacific storm system is actually moving its way into our area. That always excites me because that means chances for rain. Robert.
It excites me too, Monica, because it's something to think about and calculate. And I think we're all ready to experience, what is that called?
Winter?
Fall?
Fall?
Yeah, how about we'll slow down on that, but fall, yes, definitely. Here's a look at the temperature right now, 71 degrees. That's way above normal. Normal is in the 60s this time of year. Winds coming in from the southwest, 15 miles per hour. Look at that dew point, 39. That's been climbing. And here are the wind gusts in your area right now. 21 Las Cruces, 21 Juarez, and 19 miles per hour Deming. Now, these winds will continue coming in from the southwest tonight, and we take a broad view of the satellite radar composite. It's clear to see this system. Now it's spinning over Southern California, but it's coming our way. It will sweep into Arizona tomorrow, so we're going to go from mostly sunny in the morning to mostly cloudy by the evening. In fact, we could feel our first drops of rain by late tomorrow night, with showers on Wednesday, possible thunderstorms on Thursday. I'm going to have your detailed forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take you outside using our text-off camera. Then this is what we are seeing. I-10 red. Things are actually moving quite nicely in both directions. There isn't a lot to slow us down. Well, in national news, President Trump is moving military assets to the Caribbean Sea. In today's Political Minute, News Nation's chief Washington correspondent Blake Berman breaks down what's going on with the conflict in that region.
The military buildup in our backyard. I'm Blake Berman, host of The Hill on News Nation. The largest aircraft carrier in the world, the USS Gerald R. Ford, has now moved into the Caribbean Sea as tensions rise between the U.S. and Venezuela. It's part of a buildup of military assets in the region, including various warships and aircraft. There are now some 15,000 U.S. soldiers and sailors in the area. That's the largest presence in decades. It comes as the U.S. carries out strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and Pacific. President Trump has also suggested that land strikes against cartels inside Venezuela could be coming. The president now teasing discussions with the Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
We may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
I'm Blake Berman, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
Well, coming up, El Paso's Malalam Cantina is closing after more than a decade in operation. We're going to go over what you all had to say in our In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
Scan to download KTSM Plus free.
Call 844-796-0081.
Everyone, to KTSM 9 News, we are now talking about our In the Comments segment, and today we're talking about another restaurant closing, this one in El Paso. Malolam Cantina is closing its doors after serving the El Paso area for 11 years. This is all according to a social media post on Saturday. The cantina is located near Montecillo on the west side, and it was a popular bar spot for locals and served brunch called El Bruncho every Sunday. It featured an outdoor patio and hosted many bands and live entertainment acts. They even wrote a statement, reading in part, quote, "While this chapter is coming to an end for us, it's not the end for the space. We're proud to share that we are handing Malolam over to someone new who will be giving it a fresh remodel and reopening soon. We're excited to see the next evolution and grateful that the spirit of this place will continue in the community we love," end quote. Now, we did share this story all over our social media pages, and a lot of you had lots of thoughts you wanted to share. So we're going to start off with Chris Cam, who says Sunday brunches were the best and the food was always amazing. Jake Miller writes, "It was delicious until they decided to focus on being a bar more than a restaurant." And Axwell Ness says, "Good times. Time for something new." And here at KTSM, of course, we value your opinion, and we definitely want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Well, up next, a 4-person team of El Pasoans is operating an award-winning software that has now gone global. We're going to explain a little later in this newscast. Don't go anywhere.
That costs over $200 everywhere else. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical. Easy's our.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Welcome back, and check this out. A new survey shows that the desert region bighorn sheep recently released into the Franklin Mountains are thriving. This is video from when they were released last year. Now, according to the Texas Parks and Wildlife, Trans-Pecos Wildlife District reported 84 sheep, 13 of which are lambs. They're babies.
Aww.
So they say the bighorn sheep appear to be in good health, and this is all thanks to the rain from this year's monsoon season.
Well, this is fantastic news. I remember when Oriana went out there for the big grand, we're going to let them go, and then everybody was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this, of course. And they're thriving.
That's
thriving.
Wonderful. They're doing very well.
I have to admit, I was a little nervous about Trans Mountain and those
Right, it was
sheep,
a little dry.
but I haven't heard about any mishaps or anything like that, so that's good.
And you know what? You're talking about more rain potentially this coming week.
Indeed. Let's get some. All right, here's our rain almanac so far this year. 9.01. We've had a good year so far. Now, do we want to add to it? Oh, yes. Greedy? Oh, yes. We're greedy for rain. Normal this time of year, 7.94 inches, so above normal. Here are the highs so far today in your neighborhood. 72 at the airport, 73 Juarez, 67 Las Cruces, 68 Deming, 68 TRC, and 59 up in Ruidoso. Comparing to other towns in the southwest where we're still way above normal, down here in South Texas, 91 Laredo, 89 Brownsville, 88 Austin, and 86 for Dallas, but still a comfortable 75 out in Phoenix. Well, that Pacific system from California is coming our way. Will we get a chance of showers? Oh, yeah. Not only late tomorrow night, we could see our first drops. Wednesday and Thursday as well. Thursday's interesting because I see a chance of rare morning thunder showers Thursday morning. Here are the winds right now. Coming in from the southwest, of course, we're cooler than we were yesterday. Yesterday's high temperature, 79 degrees. So we've come down a bit, and we're going to come down even more, couple of degrees tomorrow. I do expect we're still going to make it to about 71 degrees in spite of the mostly cloudy skies. We're going to start the morning out with lots of sunshine. By the afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy. By evening, fully cloudy to overcast. Here are the temperatures in your neighborhood right now. Pleasant night tonight. Give it a while and the winds will back off. And we'll also see the skies mainly clear overnight tonight. So we'll be dropping down to 50 at the airport, about 45 down in the valley tonight. Here comes your exclusive 9-hour forecast for tomorrow. Again, we'll start out fairly nice, but as the day goes on, additional cloud cover with mostly cloudy skies. Drops late tomorrow evening. It's sort of the get ready for Wednesday drops. Here's your allergy forecast. 9 tomorrow, jumping up to a 12 on Wednesday, the highest it can be. Low temperatures tonight, 45 Alamogordo, 40 for Deming, 51 Juarez, 50 for Van Horn. Your high temperatures tomorrow coming down slightly. High of 67 Alamogordo, 68 Deming, 71 for Juarez, 72 for Van Horn. Tonight for you, Las Cruces. Partly cloudy skies, but clearing. Low temperature dropping to 44 degrees. Tomorrow, you'll be 69 with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Again, few drops before midnight, give or take down there, is going to be possible. 50 low temperature tonight at the International Airport and clearing. And then tomorrow, we're going to cloud up, a mild day at 71. And then here come the raindrops. Now coming up, I'm going to have your exclusive 9-day forecast. We'll talk about the 2 days of rain chances and the temperatures. You stay with KTSM.
go further. Need a new roof? Call Quinrick now. 474-0330.
Welcome back, everyone. It's a 4-person team of El Pasoans who are operating an award-winning software startup designed to help internet service providers to provide smoother connectivity for its customers. And they've already gone global. KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltasar brings us more in a story you'll only see on 9.
We were nominated alongside some very large companies, including a company valued at $1 billion. So for our small 4-person team based here in El Paso, this was a huge honor.
The startup Libre QoS was recently awarded the Product of the Year by the Wireless Internet Service Providers Association. Its founder, a UTEP alumni, explaining that what the software does is use technology to improve ISP's network performance, solving buffering issues one may experience, for example, when on a face call or gaming online.
It uses this algorithm and it basically divides traffic into these 4 lanes. So you have things that are not super important, like maybe you're downloading a big file, but maybe your Zoom call and your video games voice call, those are the most important. So those get kind of a fast lane of traffic.
Chacon says because they use open source technology, ISPs around the world, large or small, can use their software for free, like one of their clients, an ISP that provides internet connectivity to 400 customers in a village in Malawi.
It's really critical for the developing world and for even our own communities here along the border in the United States to be able to provide this software for free. Many small ISPs just don't have the resources or the ability to pay, astronomical costs on software.
Beyond that, Chacon hopes that the work him and his colleagues are doing here in El Paso may motivate local talent aspiring to be in the tech industry to pursue their goals here in the Borderland.
I think that what we've been able to pull off this year has shown that you can absolutely stay in El Paso, you can foster, the local community, and you can bring in all the incredible local talent to develop something that has a global impact.
And that was Jesus Baltasar reporting. Well, don't go anywhere. We still have another half hour of news and weather coming up right after this break. You're watching KTSM 9+.
$269 a month for 39 months. Take a test drive at 6330 Montana today.
Welcome back, everyone, to KTSM 9 Plus, your digital newscast. A $10 to $14 increase. That's what officials with Texas Gas asked City Council to add to your monthly bill. And today, city members voiced their concerns about the financial impact on families, pushing back on that ask and ultimately denying the request. Texas Gas Service wants to take all of its different service zones across the state and merge them into one big zone. Right now, people in different regions pay different rates, but under this new plan, everyone would fall under the same rate structure. The company says combining these zones would actually help them spread out costs and improve reliability across the system. But city officials push back, saying consolidating those areas would actually leave El Pasoans paying more than they should. In fact, the mayor weighed in, sending the following statement, reading in part, quote, "Today's decision reflects that input and reinforces our duty to protect fairness, transparency, and accountability for every household and business in our city. We will not allow El Paso families to be overcharged to subsidize other regions. We will continue to stand up, push back when necessary, and defend what is right for El Paso," end quote. Now, while the city of El Paso has formally opposed this rate hike, the final decision will actually be made by the Texas Railroad Commission sometime in January. Well, in other news, if you have SNAP, you might have to reapply for it soon. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says the Trump administration is planning this move due to alleged fraud. Now, this all comes after the secretary said they received data from 29 red states that showed 186,000 deceased men, women, and children were receiving a check. Every state has a periodic recertification process that requires SNAP or food stamp recipients to update their whereabouts and earnings. Most municipalities require updated data every 12 to 6 months, and earlier this month, food stamps were threatened due to government shutdowns, as the Trump administration argued against using contingency funds to fuel that program. Families and individuals are expected to receive benefits in full by today. And happening next month, the Trump administration's border czar, Tom Homan, is expected to visit El Paso. According to the El Paso County Republican Party, Homan will be visiting UTEP for a, quote, important conversation our community needs right now. Homan will speak at 7 p.m. December 4th at the UTEP Undergraduate Learning Center, room 106. The event will include a chance to ask questions. It will be hosted by Turning Point USA. Well, whooping cough is on the rise in Texas, and with the Department of State Health Services reporting over 3,500 cases across the state. Cases have increased nearly 4 times compared to the same period in 2024, with 85% of those cases being children. State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager looks at the reasons for the increase and what parents should know.
We see years of high pertussis cycles, but this is definitely one of those years with more pertussis cases.
Cases of pertussis, more commonly known as whooping cough, on the rise in Texas.
It may start just as a normal cough, but the key thing is that it causes these episodes where the child is just going to start coughing and not be able to stop.
One of the key symptoms to look out for?
They're going to make this kind of sound, and so that's them trying to breathe.
According to Southeast Texas Dr. Leilani Valdez, who also serves as a spokesperson for the College of American Pathologists, a couple reasons could exist for the rise in cases.
We are seeing the rise in these cases as a direct result of the lower vaccination rates in our communities, not just in Texas, but across the country.
According to data from the Texas Department of State Health Services, when it comes to the Tdap vaccines, which include pertussis, over 6.5% of Texas 7th graders and over 7% of Texas kindergartners are unvaccinated. About half of those unvaccinated listing conscientious objection as their reason. However, vaccination rates amongst children is just one piece of the puzzle.
It's recommended that all children and adults get a 10-year booster. We're seeing not just a drop in initial vaccination rates, but we're also seeing a drop in people getting that 10-year booster.
In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
Well, the most vulnerable population to whooping cough is infants who cannot receive the vaccination as a newborn. Experts recommend pregnant women receive the booster to pass on immunity to their newborns. Well, in other news, next summer, the U.S. Department of Agriculture will open a facility in Mexico. The USDA says the facility will disperse sterile flies to stop the spread of screwworm. Now, the department is building a second facility in Edinburgh, just north of McAllen. Now, the USDA says that facility will produce 300 million sterile flies a week. Two cases of screwworm were recently detected 70 miles from the Texas-Mexico border, and officials say that the parasite could actually cause more than $700 million in losses each year if it reaches Texas. Well, to other state news, an Austin family and 4 others have joined a wrongful death lawsuit against Camp Mystic following the deadly floods in July. Now, this brings the total number of families suing to 20. 27 young campers and counselors died during the July 4th floods, and as we've reported, 4 different law firms representing victim families are accusing the camp of not doing enough to evacuate and save lives. Attorneys for the camp say the flooding was unexpected with no adequate warning system in place. They say they disagree with several accusations and misinformation and in the suits, but they don't elaborate, saying that they will, quote, thoroughly respond in due course. Well, President Donald Trump has floated future talks with Venezuela's leader as the U.S. increases military forces around the country. The possible diplomatic outreach comes as some lawmakers have expressed concern the U.S. is heading towards war with the nation. Washington correspondent Maddie Beer-Temple has the story.
As the U.S.'s most advanced aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford arrives in the Caribbean.
Venezuela would like to talk.
President Trump said Sunday he's open to talks with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who Secretary of State Marco Rubio says is heading a drug cartel that will soon be designated a foreign terrorist organization.
He has not been good to the United States, so we'll see what happens. At a certain period of time, I'll be talking to him.
The potential talks come after the U.S. carried out 21 strikes on boats in the Caribbean and Pacific, killing at least 83 people. State Department spokesman Tommy Pigott says they stopped the flow of deadly drugs from coming to the U.S.
The leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45 are overdoses.
The president accuses those on the boats of being, quote, narco-terrorists, trafficking drugs from Venezuela to the U.S., but has released no evidence of that. Maduro has said the U.S. is fabricating a war against him. Some lawmakers question the legality of the strikes and say the military buildup raises concerns the U.S. is heading toward war. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy said on ABC This Week,
"It's wildly illegal. The president can't start a war with a nation without a congressional authorization."
Florida Senator Rick Scott defended the president on Fox News Sunday.
Basically a drug cartel-run country right now. So I think President Trump's doing the right thing. Congress should not slow him down.
The Senate recently rejected a bill to rein in the president's power to take military action against Venezuela. In Washington, I'm Maddie Beer-Temple.
All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our weather now as we get ready to welcome what Robert is calling a Pacific storm system moving into our region. Robert, everything is nice and calm now, but hey, you're talking about rain chances very soon.
We're all in for a little change. We've had those 80s for several days, 70s today. How did the 60s sound?
I'm ready for that.
I know, it'll be nice. And a chance of rain, which of course we need every precious drop. Not tonight. Tonight the winds will pull back and the skies will be clear. It's 71 at the airport right now. We've got winds at about 15 miles per hour out of the southwest. Now on the satellite radar composite, it's easy to see this Pacific system, a low pressure system right over Southern California right now. That's also producing heavy rainfall in parts of the northern LA area. You can see the green boxes. Those are flood advisories. Now I'm not expecting any kind of flash flooding for us with this, but we will get some showers and some thunderstorms starting late tomorrow night with the advanced drops, then showers for Wednesday and even some rare morning thunderstorms on Thursday. I'm going to have your detailed 9-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Now over to a story you'll only see on 9. So another El Paso soccer star is in the making. Chloe de Real, a 17-year-old El Pasoan, is making a deep run with Mexico's under-17 women's national team in the FIFA U17 Women's World Cup, which was actually held in Morocco last month. KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltasar, he first brought you her story last year, and now he's catching up with her again.
It was spring of last year when I first spoke with Chloe del Real after she got her first call-up to Mexico's national squad. Fast forward a year and a half later, she now has a Youth World Cup under her belt and continues to build on her dream to go pro.
I don't think there's words to describe the feeling of realizing you're the third best team in the whole entire world.
Del Real was a key component of Mexico's squad, which achieved third place, winning a bronze medal in the 2025 FIFA U17 Women's World Cup.
That is an absolute beauty of a strike.
Del Real played for 177 of about 272 minutes of Mexico's group stage fixtures.
For Del Real. Del Real pulls the trigger.
She was subbed into the game at halftime in their first 2 matches and started for the third match, in which she racked up 85 minutes of playing time. Mexico winning 2 out of those 3 matches and advancing to the knockout stage as second place in their group.
All games, they had their own difficulties, and it was very fun playing against all the different teams around the world. It's all different playing styles.
A re-aggravated quad injury during warm-ups before the round of 16 match kept Del Real out of the knockout stages, but she was still thrilled to see her teammates go on a deep run.
And she buries it!
Proud to be able to represent my country and, show the world who Mexico is. I think we had such a united group, and that's what really helped us win.
And she continues to build on her resume. Having already debuted professionally with FC Juarez earlier this year, Del Real now readies to suit up for the UTEP Miners women's soccer team next year in Division 1 soccer.
You can find both stories chronicling Del Real's young soccer career by visiting KTSM.com. Reporting in studio, Jesus Baltasar, KTSM 9 News.
Jesus, thank you so much for that story. And now over to some more good news for flyers. Just in time for one of the busiest times of the year for air travel, things are finally going back to normal. The Federal Aviation Administration says the order to reduce flights is no longer in effect. That means cuts started more than a week ago in an effort to give a break to air traffic controllers dealing with the government shutdown. And now that the government shutdown has finally ended last Wednesday, the FAA says staffing levels have now, quote, stabilized. And for flyers, they're happy they can get on their way once again. Well, coming up, nearly 400 New Mexico teachers will have a portion of their student loans forgiven. We'll tell you why and what some of you had to say in today's In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 News, putting local first.
Scan to download KTSM Plus free.
to learn more.
Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News Weekdays. Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
I'm ready for a little rain. I'm ready for it to cool down. We're going to have a couple of days right in a row where we'll see a chance of showers, and it starts late tomorrow night. 64 Las Cruces right now. Nothing tonight. In fact, the few clouds we have will clear up this evening. Winds have been occasionally gusty to breezy, 15 miles per hour right now. It's popped us up to 67 Las Cruces, 68 Deming, 72 at the airport, and 73 Juarez. I'll have the official high temperatures a little bit later for you. A look at the satellite radar composite. This is the weather maker. It is a low pressure system parked at this moment right over Southern California. It will make its advance approach into Arizona tonight, and it will pass overhead over us on Wednesday and Thursday. It's kind of a slow mover, so I'm not expecting a tremendous amount of strong winds out of it, but they will feel awfully chilly on Thursday. Winds coming in northwest at about 10 to 25 miles per hour. With a high of 60, you're going to need a jacket that day. Right now we have some flood advisories posted around the northern LA area, up along the coastline there, and you can see the bands associated with that low pressure system. Not tonight. It's too far away. Tonight the winds will calm down, and tonight the skies will be clear. A beautiful night this evening. Here are the temperatures where you are. Now tomorrow we're still probably going to achieve about 71 degrees in the afternoon thanks to the southwest winds. Here's your 9-hour forecast. Partly turning mostly cloudy, but that chance of drops starts late tomorrow night. Now it could be around 11 o'clock-ish, give or take, somewhere in the ballpark, but late evening. Allergy forecast 9 for tomorrow, jumping up to 12 on Wednesday. Your low tonight, 44 Las Cruces, with partly cloudy skies turning clear overnight tonight. Tomorrow, you're going to pop up to 69 degrees with those southwesterly breezes, still keeping it on the warmer side. Tonight, 50 at the International Airport, a little cooler down in the valley at 45. Then we'll start the day out with lots of sunshine, end it with cloudy skies, 71, and maybe some evening drops. Now, only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Wednesday, here it comes. That system moves in. We'll cloud up. You're going to feel that moisture. The system is pulling Pacific moisture with it. That's why we're getting a rain chance. Scattered light rain showers on Wednesday, 65, 60 on Thursday. We get a surge of energy Thursday morning, very unstable atmosphere. Could hear a couple of crackles of thunder on Thursday morning, which is unusual to get storms in the morning hours. By late Thursday, it clears up. Beautiful Friday at 67, 75 on Saturday, close to 80 on Sunday, and windy, a little bit cooler as we cruise into Monday. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take you outside now using our TechStock cameras, and this is what it looks like. So it does look like we have an incident off of the side of the road. This is I-10 East Lake. So if this is your commute, just know you may see yourself being stuck a little bit in slow and go traffic. No major delays in your commute, but this is what we are dealing with at this hour. Going over in today's In the Comments segment, nearly 400 New Mexico teachers will have a portion of their student loans forgiven as part of the state's effort to build and strengthen the teacher pipeline. This is all according to the news release by the New Mexico Higher Education Department, and the New Mexico Teacher Loan Repayment Program was awarded funding to 387 new teachers, adding to the 529 teachers already part of that program. The program was launched in 2013, aiming to attract more teachers to New Mexico classrooms, and the program already offers licensed teachers up to $6,000 a year in student loan repayment in exchange for a 2-year commitment to serve in a New Mexico school. Again, this is all according to Higher Education Department. Now, we did share the story all over our social media accounts, and many of you had lots of thoughts you wanted to share. So we're going to start off with Jane Brown Barden, who says, "Good for New Mexico. I'm a retired teacher that paid all of her student loans, but no sour grapes here. You need to help the teachers if you want to keep them." Tonya Nance James says, "If you're teaching in a low-income district that does not pay well, this should help to get some better teachers in there." And Stephen Kent Judy simply writes, "Driving our state into prosperity." Now, the Teacher Loan Repayment Program applications open June 1st and will end on August 1st. For more information, just head on over to KTSM.com and click on this story. And here at KTSM, of course, we want to hear more from you, so make sure you're following us on all of your social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Segment sponsored by Emergence Health Network.
Hello, everyone. It's time for another Mindful Monday. We're with Kristen once again, one of our experts at Emergence Health Network. Today, we're talking about depression. So how do we know the difference between just feeling sad often and true depression?
I think the difference between feeling sad and true depression is the length of time that you're feeling those emotions. With depression, you're going to be experiencing that isolation, withdrawal, sadness, inability to get up, to get out, to go do things that you might normally do, and that's going to be happening for quite a while versus 1, 2, 3 days, maybe a week. Depression is going to be around for a lot longer.
Okay, and how do we support someone who is going through this?
Definitely let them know that you're there for them, offer them help. If you don't know about the help, offer them local resources like we have here at Emergence Health Network.
Okay, Kristen, thank you very much. And remember, one of those resources is our 24-hour crisis hotline. You can text, you can dial 988.
Segment sponsored by Emergence Health Network.
Deposited into a high-yield savings account at Raiz Federal Credit Union.
Last look at the forecast. High temperature tomorrow 71, but by late tomorrow afternoon, here comes the thick cloud cover. Could see a couple of drops right before midnight tomorrow night. Showers likely on Wednesday, a mix of sun with that. High temperature goes down to 65, and then a surge of energy gives us a chance of showers and morning thunder showers on Thursday with a high of only 60 degrees. It all clears out for the weekend ahead. Beautiful Saturday, 75, and a little windy on Sunday with a high of 79 degrees. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. We do have one last story before we leave. So after 7 years of service, the Baked Bear has also closed its doors. The shop opened up in 2018 serving ice cream, cookies, and desserts for El Pasoans. And now the ice cream shop said in a statement that closing was a very difficult decision, but it was made after, quote, careful consideration of our business operations and long-term plans, end quote. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm Monica Cortez. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'll see you at 6 o'clock, but don't go anywhere because 9 News Now with Estela Casas is up next.
Hair and wardrobe provided by